Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the We Can't Duck podcast. I'm your host for this evening, Sergio Habanero Mendez, and back from the dead, we got Carlos the Space Patino. Ba-ba-ba-bow.
Yeah, yay.
There we go.
We're
Back
here,
from the
dude. We're
dead.
we're doing it, man. So much, too much has happened since we've last had an episode.
Yeah, too much has happened. Luckily I was able to like schedule the episode so that we didn't leave it too long in between, so it feels like we've only missed a week.
Yeah, a lot of shit can happen in a week, man.
Yeah.
So, and a lot did happen.
A lot did happen. Yeah, a lot did happen.
Yeah.
You want to talk about your team first, or
Well, let's talk about the results first of
let's
all.
talk about the
So
results? All
I'll
right.
I'll do the eastern side, you do the western side, and then we're gonna come back to me to talk
Okay.
about the Celtics and
Gotcha.
ho- and well, I should have written something. But
A
anyways,
eulogy.
probably something of that sort. But okay, so starting off, we had the Pacers versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. The number one seed versus the number eight seed? No,
Four.
number four seed. Okay,
Yeah.
so uh turns out the Indiana Pacers came to play. They came to
Yeah.
play and they were able you know, I think one of the games was a blowout
Yeah.
and then they were able to come back via game winners from Tyrese Halliburton. So that was a very interesting series and caught everybody off guard. Nobody thought it was gonna be that result where the the Indiana Pacers won that series and moved on to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I believe they went 4-1.
Yeah.
They gentlemen sweep the number one
Hmm.
Cavs. And this is a team that was hot from the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So, but this is kind of what happens with a team that makes acquisitions in the middle of the season.
Hmm.
They didn't do too bad. I mean, they got
No.
DeAndre Hunter, and he fit the system
Hmm.
in regards to the regular season. But once the playoffs came, Ben Mathurin got in his head. I don't know
Yeah.
if you saw that, but that was pretty, you know. And
I
then there
didn't
was
get a
this.
chance to see Ben Mathurin.
I I,
No.
I watched this one play where Ben Mathurin and DeAndre Hunter got into it,
Hmm.
and it looked like Mathurin gave him a little jab to the chest,
Hmm.
for no reason, not a basketball play, no reason, but
Yeah.
DeAndre Hunter acted like he was stabbed with a knife,
Yeah.
went down, and then he got up and retaliated and shoved the shit out of Ben Mathurin,
Hmm.
also not a basketball play.
Yeah.
And at the end of all the hoopla, after all the commotion, uh, they ended up charging Mathurin with a flagrant two
Okay.
and just a technical on DeAndre Hunter. So, NBA players, if someone kind of touches you in a weird way, you
Hmm.
could shove the shit out of a player and it's only going to be a technical, apparently.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see it going that way.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you could count that as, I mean, throw them both out.
Yeah.
But both are 100% unnecessary.
Yeah.
And when you don't do something like that, when you don't throw out both players for doing unnecessary non-basketball like
Plays.
actions,
Hmm.
and it's like and it's intentional,
Hmm.
both of them were intentional, and you let one of them get away with the other. Now you're opening an argument for, is it rigged?
Yeah.
Are you trying to help the Cavaliers? So it's
Hmm.
like, I'm not saying they were, but now you have that argument.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because
Yeah.
the Pacers won that series four to
Yeah.
one. And then sadly for me, the Boston Celtics versus the New York Knicks did not pan out the way at all any Celtics fans wanted it to go.
Hmm.
In fact, nobody really expected it to be like that,
No,
you
actually.
know? And I'll get to it later, but so the New York Knicks won 4-2.
Hmm.
They had to go to 6 games, and uh we lost Jason Tatum.
Hmm.
He's no longer with us. No, I'm just kidding. You know,
Feels like it.
it does feel like it. He a ruptured Achilles,
Hmm.
which is the worst fucking injury an NBA player could probably
Yeah.
sustain, aside from also like an
ACL tear.
ACL.
Yeah.
The both of those are just career could those are potential career changing injuries,
Yeah.
you know?
I'm glad it's not career ending anymore, but it's definitely changing, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't come back the same after an Achilles
Hmm.
tear or rupture.
Yeah.
Because I believe what KD had was a tear. I
Yeah.
think what Kobe Bryant had was a tear.
Yeah.
This was a rupture.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like well maybe 2 weeks ago, Damian Lillard also tore his Achilles
Oh yeah.
in the Bucks versus Pacers
Hmm.
series. So yeah, so the New York Knicks lost 4 to won the series 4-2. It was very sad, and then I got really sick, and I'm blaming it on the Celtics.
Maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean like honestly like uh there's no one to blame. I don't think I can't in the right mind say that New York was a better team.
Hmm.
I just feel like the Celtics just didn't play smart. The way they
Hmm.
played against Orlando was really smart because they're like, hey, they're not going to let us shoot threes, so we're going to have to attack the paint.
Hmm.
And in this case, they just didn't try anything that worked. Like,
Hmm.
if one thing was failing, they kept trying the thing that was failing.
Hmm.
And it's like, come on, dude, like
Yeah.
try something, maybe try the same tactics that you did against Orlando, get them bastards into some foul trouble. And when you have a 20-point lead, don't lose it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue. Because
Yeah.
if we held on to those leads the first 2 games, we would not be having this conversation right now. And Jason Tatum arguably probably wouldn't have gotten injured.
Yeah. Wouldn't have had to die on the fucking floor.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Yeah.
anyways, the West.
I gotcha. Um, yeah. So the West. All right. So in a not so epic battle, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves eliminating the Golden State Warriors, 4-1. And I think people thought this would be a lot closer. I think if people watch the games, I think for them, with the exception of maybe like two games, this series was never really close. I just think Timberwolves had Golden State's number, and especially without Curry, it just kind of showed. This team is carried by Steph Curry, and
Yeah.
it's not even close. Yeah, it's insane that they still rely on him as much as they do, as if he was at least, I don't know, 30 years old, you know.
Right, right.
And they got Jimmy Butler, who's also like what 35, 36, if anything.
He's what the young kids call an old head now.
Yeah. Still a good player, but again, not enough to really carry you over the top. Their young core, it's all right, but it's not great, you know. It's all right.
It's inconsistent is what it is.
Yeah, like it's ironic that Quentin Post is probably the best one out of all of them.
Mm,
I think Pods can get hot, but when he's not, he does go missing. Jonathan Kuminga goes just left on the bench at times.
yeah. Which the way he played the last few games is kind of like maybe you guys should have played him a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, maybe we would have gotten one more game out of that, but yeah, it wasn't gonna look good. And then,
Hmm.
arguably, probably the worst part of the Golden State, which we've already known for a decade, is Draymond Green.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
goodness gracious.
Jesus Christ, man, the amount of time he probably should have been ejected, even in the Rockets series. Like
Yeah.
and for him to complain about him being targeted, I'm like, dude, you're the one that's literally talking shit to the refs, talking shit to the players. You're starting about 90% of all the drama that happens on the court. Of
Hmm.
course, you're going to get a technical, and they let you get away with it. They
They
let
let
you
him
get
get
away
away
with more than most
with
players.
so much.
Yeah.
They
And
let
I
him get
don't
away
know
with.
why.
I don't
This
know
isn't
how.
like LeBron. Like people
Yeah.
complain about LeBron having control. If LeBron were to do anything like that, he would have been ejected already. It's insane. Like
Hmm.
it's insane how much like Draymond could punch somebody on the court and would just get a flagrant one. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they're eliminated. I like to see Ant-Man still deep in this playoff run. We'll see if the Aura King can keep going. Um,
Hmm.
And then in another, the conference semis, ironically, we should have seen this coming, but because I think we watched the first game together. But the OKC Thunder have beaten the Denver Nuggets 4-3, and my God, what a fucking back and forth series!
What
Because
a battle was that
yeah,
one?
goddamn, that is Fat Man Jokic refusing to die, also carrying the team on his back, and really only having Jamal Murray go off for I think half of that series.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
honestly, yeah, Michael Porter Jr. completely gone, I think, for majority of that series. Russell Westbrook, I like Russ, but goddamn, um, Julian Strawther showed up, which is random as hell.
Mm-hmm.
But OKC, I think, showed that they figured out how to win. Because they were kind of blowing some of those leads. There was at least two games that they should have won, and they let that lead slip. I think we saw game one together, and they totally blew the last like 2 minutes of that game on the free
Yeah.
throws.
Yeah. But also could be like lack of maturity
Hmm.
in
Definitely.
in that situation.
Hmm.
And you know
Definitely.
who kind of locked them a little back in,
Hmm.
arguably, was probably Alex Caruso.
Honestly, I think Alex Caruso is the reason that they won this series because
Mm-hmm.
he's the only champion I think on that team, right? There's
Yeah.
nobody else.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody else on that
Nope.
team.
Nope. Isaiah Hartenstein, no.
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah, he might
yeah,
be the
no,
only
that's it.
champion. Yeah.
They're so young, there's no champion
Yeah, they're a
on
good
that tour.
team. J-Dub went missing game six, but it didn't even matter. But honestly, I'm glad that they did what they did and that they won because this team at least needed to make a conference finals just to justify keeping that core together.
Yeah.
Whether or not they'll make it will remain to be seen. But honestly, they on paper they look like the deepest team here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but that doesn't mean anything because we saw Cleveland also be one of the deepest teams, and then three of their players got injured. So um,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to see. But honestly, I think we're gonna see a great Western Conference Finals because we've got the Timberwolves as a 6 seed against the 1 seed, and I don't think either of those teams is gonna give anything. They're gonna all go. This is definitely going 6 games for
Mm.
sure. This is gonna be a battle.
Okay.
But yeah, that this is where we're gonna be at now. I think we're definitely gonna see something, and I'm glad that we finally get new teams into the NBA Finals because
Mm-hmm.
we haven't
Yeah.
seen any of these teams in a long ass time.
Before we were born, we didn't see New York
We
go to
didn't
the
see New
finals.
York.
Um,
I mean, I guess you could say I saw the Pacers, but I didn't really see the Pacers because that was the Reggie Miller Pacers. But
mm-hmm.
I mean, it was around I guess when I existed. And then the Thunder, the only time they made it was with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, which
When
seems like ages ago.
they were young, like they were
Hmm.
like fresh into the league.
And the Timberwolves have never made it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's this is good for the NBA. Not
Yeah.
good for casuals, but this is good for the NBA.
Yeah. I think the Timberwolves made it to the Western Conference Finals
KG.
with KG
Hmm.
once,
Yeah,
and that's as far as they got.
yeah.
And
So
honestly, that's probably as far as they're gonna get this year too, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. They got a definitely got a gauntlet here.
Because they don't have to battle a strong center like Jokic anymore.
Hmm.
You know, now they have to get through a defensive center like Gobert,
Yeah,
and then once they just have to try to stop as much as they can Nas Reed when he comes into the game.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's gonna be interesting to say the least.
yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to do predictions right now, or do we want to circle back to the Celtics?
All right, let me talk to the Celtics real quick.
Okay,
Let me talk to the Celtics and to the Celtics fans. First of
okay. I
all,
wish I could get
so
a violin.
Celtics, thank you for another great season. I almost died of maybe 30 heart attacks. And all of those have been when you guys blow leads. And it's happened repeatedly too many times during the season. And it's happened way too many times in the playoffs. Like that, it's inexcusable. And this is with a team that, yes, you've battled through illnesses, injuries, or what have you, you know. I think Drew Holiday was out a few times. Porzingis has AIDS probably. I don't know what his deal is. I saw like a graphic of all of the injuries that
Hmm.
you had, KP, along with the symptoms of AIDS. You might have AIDS, and I don't know which Bostonian bitch out there gave him the AIDS, but thank you for ruining the Celtics. That's beside the point. You guys played a great season regardless, and it just sucks that with an injury like this, the window has closed for what was it has closed indefinitely for the Celtics. But does that mean we shouldn't root for the Celtics? Absolutely not. Be a real fan. Be who you want. Be for the team that you decided to go for. Like, don't just switch out teams and be like, I'm going for the Pacers now because that's Larry Bird's team. Like, okay, but that's not the Celtics.
Yeah.
Okay. What moves are going to happen are going to determine the feeling of the rest of the squad for the foreseeable future until Jason Tatum is good enough to come back and slowly return.
Yeah.
But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And I'm glad I got to uh witness them almost make a comeback
Hmm.
because they could have came back and made that series a little more competitive. But the problem is it's on you guys. Like I'm a fat guy. I shouldn't be saying any of these things.
Yeah.
But man, like it's just time after time we're gonna watch the Celtics up 20 points. And to think in our minds while we're watching that game as Celtics fans, man, we're probably going to win this game. And to just go into third and fourth quarters with a lead and being like, I don't even know anymore. And yes, the league has changed, but God damn it, play some defense. So for the next, you know, for the off season, we'll see what happens, but we can't afford anybody. We
Yeah.
can't afford anybody, but we don't want to turn into the Washington Wizards. We don't want to turn into the Brooklyn Nets. We want to stay competitive for as long as we can, but the hopes of winning a championship are now gone. And this is when you're gonna know who the real fans are. You're gonna stick with your team, or you're gonna say, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna watch basketball anymore." And you know what? I respect both decisions. And no, I wouldn't want to say that I respect both decisions, but I understand both decisions.
Hmm.
But I respect you more if you continue going for the green.
Yeah.
And that's about it, man.
Nice.
It was sad. It hurt. Jason Tatum, get well soon. It's gonna be a journey, man. I bet like because with an injury like that, I bet you're just limping around your house and eventually you just start crying. You break down because you're like, this is one, traumatic.
If he's even
Two,
walking.
yeah, for sure. He's probably getting wheelchaired around by Deuce,
Yeah.
you know. So it's like, yes, you have the heart of a champion. So thank you for winning a championship at least. Because
Hmm.
that's one of the things that like that's what justified getting those big paychecks.
Yeah.
That's what justified getting those big contracts is the fact that we were able to win a championship and we had hopes of winning more. And with a healthy Tatum, we could have still had a chance.
Hmm.
However, without Tatum, it's going to be next to damn near impossible.
Yeah.
And it scares me with the new ownership. What direction are we going to go? Because it costs a lot of money to win a championship.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money to win a championship, and it costs even more money to repeat. And now it's going to cost even more money
Pay
figure out
everyone.
to figure out what the hell to do from now. It's either going to cost a lot of money or you're going to cut a lot of cost, and the team's going to be trash for a little while, and it's going to be really, really sad, And I don't regret naming my dog Boston.
Nice.
That's it.
Hey. Yeah. No, I don't think you guys will be trash. I think you guys will be mid. And I'm not sure if that's worse, especially in the NBA.
Yeah.
Um, Just
I
because
mean,
at least you can get a draft pick if you're ass, you know.
exactly. Yeah, and I don't even think we have draft capital right now. I think
You guys have a
that
few,
that
but nothing great.
no, nothing significant, you
Yeah.
know. And then and also to all the Boston fans, we are not going to get Cooper Flag. Just stop fucking. I know
Yeah.
Nico Harrison's an idiot,
Hey,
but I
we
don't.
can't say no. We can't say no, unfortunately.
But if that were to happen, it's gonna come at a great cost, you guys.
Yeah.
You got to see how this guy, because I know he's gonna be good,
Yeah.
and he is from Boston, but that doesn't mean that he's going to play for Boston
Anytime
anytime
soon.
soon. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you gotta
just
wait
not.
for his rookie deal to expire in like
Yeah.
6 years from now.
Exactly. And then when that happens, Jason Tatum's
Gonna be
contract is
old.
going to be up, and he's going to be old, and he's going to be coming back from an Achilles
Yeah.
rupture, which
Another one, part two.
God, that sounds terrible to say.
Achilles ruptured,
A
electric
ruptured
boogaloo.
Achilles, not a torn one, not a strained one, a ruptured. Like there's those surgeons, man. God bless their souls, but goodness gracious, man, did
Yeah.
they have their work ahead?
Could you imagine being the surgeon to look at that like every athlete? You're like, oh my God.
Oh fuck! I bet that's what when they got the results. I bet that's what the doctor said. Oh shit,
Yeah. Like,
I'm
could
in
you
for some
imagine
work.
being the like in this series itself? It's like you took Damian Lillard's Achilles. You're like, God damn, and then you look at Jason Tatum's like, God damn, another one.
Oh my God, this one's worse.
Yeah. I know they have their own doctors, but I'm just
Yeah,
pretending like everyone has the same
the same
doctor.
doctor.
Yeah, like, oh
It,
God.
it's crazy though because like, dude, we were on pins and needles after the whole injury happened,
Yeah.
and I was just refreshing Twitter the next day just over and over because they said that he was gonna have an MRI,
Yeah.
and they came out with a double announcement. They're
Mm.
like, he has a ruptured Achilles and he's already had surgery. So it's like, whoa, that was really quick.
Yeah. I mean, they
Uh,
probably once I think you know, you can't really like
yeah.
do anything about it.
It's it's funny the picture that they showed of Jason Tatum giving
Oh,
the
and
thumbs up.
yeah.
He was like, he seems like he's in good spirits. A lot of
Yeah.
people said he looks like he's on drugs right now.
Yeah, dude, you know, yeah.
He is he
Well,
is on pain meds.
he's probably like the worst part is over. They already put me to sleep and they already sliced my leg up, so
Yeah,
I do think though you guys should really trade obviously Porzingis and Drew Holiday.
I think that's what's coming, dude. And those are the talks too. The problem is with that is those talks started happening before the season was even over.
Hmm.
Like during the playoffs, that's when those talks started. And come on, man, you think those players don't see and read stuff like that?
Yeah,
You know,
probably irritates him.
they might be, but also like now they have distrust in their franchise, the team that they're
Yeah.
playing for, and someone like Porzingis who is actually happy playing in Boston. Never seen him happier playing for a team ever, and now the team that he's the happiest playing with is talking about trading
Yeah.
you. It's like I understand it's a business, but whoever the fuck leaked that we're looking at options like in the off season,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was in Washington. I mean, if you took me out of Washington, put me anywhere else besides Charlotte, I'd be fucking happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I do think you could fleece the Lakers because the Lakers are kind of fucking dumb.
Hmm.
I think you could. I think the Lakers are dumb enough to go after a center like Porzingis, ignoring the fact that he's basically, and this is
Has
what
AIDS.
what's up. Well, besides have his AIDS, but somebody on YouTube, another guy named Rusty Buckets, called him a glass cannon. He's
Mm.
just like you just can't rely on him like to be injury free. He's
Yeah.
like he's very good, so he called him a glass cannon. I was like, yeah, that's an accurate description.
Yeah,
A can,
he's gonna miss games. He will
yeah.
miss games.
So the Lakers are dumb enough to do that. So,
There's nobody
um,
on the Lakers lineup that I want.
yeah, not for that type of money. They could pair him with other players, but honestly, I don't know why I made this about the Lakers. The only good players that I would think have value are Rui, Dorian, and Vanderbilt. I feel like that's
You can
pretty
keep
much it.
them. You can keep them. I don't want them.
Yeah, like again, it's more about rounding out the team, but you guys need a center, and we don't even fucking have that.
Yeah.
But my team is dumb enough to do that, so just keep an eye out for that.
Hmm.
We would also be dumb enough to go for Drew Holiday because apparently, when we tell people we need three and deep young guys to run around, they're gonna be like, "All right, Drew Holiday, 34, let's get him." Like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, and I forget you guys are gonna have the highest payroll, which is like 500 million, which is nuts, dude.
Ridiculous. Like I said, it costs a lot of money to win a championship.
Yeah. Like
You
it is
know.
crazy that you guys will have that much on a single payroll, which is I
Hmm.
think what you guys it's the reason you guys are gonna blow up the team, and then you guys aren't gonna have Tatum next year. So I think what you guys could do is, I mean, I wouldn't say intentionally tank, but I would say if you guys get the play in or something like that, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, you know?
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. But I mean, you would have to see who else is available on the market and what
Hmm.
you're gonna need to get, um, and try to get a center and then a defensive stopper at that point.
Hmm.
You just try to recreate them. That's all you really can do. I haven't even looked at trades yet, but um, yeah, I think you guys. I would say for sure next season's gonna be not rough, but it's gonna be just, it's you guys are just gonna have to go through the motions. Um,
If we gotten used to all this winning, now is the time to stop getting used to that shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
This
do
might make
think.
this
Go
might
ahead.
make the East Coast a little more competitive now as well. So
Yeah, honestly, yeah,
it
very
evens
much
out a
so.
little more. So
Especially if Giannis leaves.
yeah.
It depends on whatever happens at that point. But I do think in the sense of like with the Knicks, I think their squad is just about as good as yours. The only thing is it's what do you call it? Yeah, I mean you guys just went from playing Orlando to now playing New York, which just has better team, yeah, better team than Orlando.
Yeah.
And I think it was like one of those things where tougher to be defended by New York's guys than it is to be guarded by Orlando's guys. And I think that's when you have those mismatches and things like that, I feel like it just got a little bit easier for New York to cope with that. And then obviously you guys didn't have Porzingis really 100% there. So yeah, Cat was there. Not really doing a great job all of the series, but it was enough to bother you guys. And yeah, I mean, Jalen Brunson showed up as a
Yeah.
star, and yeah, like I think that was pretty much it that was separating you guys. N Nothing crazy. It was just, everything happening all at once and just going bad for you guys in
Yeah.
totality. You know,
Yeah.
uh, honestly though, your guys' implosion is nowhere near as bad as Cleveland's.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can't get gentlemen swept by a team that you're supposed to be 100% better than.
Yeah, that was nuts. Like the fact that it even, yeah, because I was expecting the Cleveland Cavaliers to go through in like six or something like that,
Hmm.
but for them to go out the way they did and then not even have Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, and then I want to say DeAndre Hunter was out for one of those games.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like at that point, what was the point of getting all that depth if we were just gonna all die at the same time?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
then Donovan disappointed me too. And I like Donovan Mitchell, man, but it's getting tougher and tougher to defend him, man.
Yeah.
I can't really say much. But the Pacers, man, I thought they were a one-hit wonder because of last season, but no, it looks like they're here to stay. Um, I think they really should try to keep what's his name? God, I'm drawing a blank here. Their center, Miles Turner.
Miles Turner, yeah.
I do think that that's a key piece because I think that the stretch big
Hmm.
massively underrated. I think. I know that we're back in this traditional bigs in the NBA, but I think Miles Turner is one of those guys that you break the bank for.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Because
sure.
I think it just changes their dynamic for them.
Hmm. So
Um,
who do you got in that series?
Pacers Knicks,
Hmm.
dude. I fuck man, this is gonna be a good one, but dude,
First of all, it's a storyline in and of itself
yeah, it's great.
because back then this is it was the Reggie Miller versus the Knicks, you know,
hmm
versus the John Starks and the Patrick Ewing. Like
We're
you know,
back, baby.
it's
Like
back.
we
That's
have Reggie Miller, we have Spike Lee. We're gonna have all of that now.
we have a narrative,
So.
man. I mean, dude, like what's his name? Tyrese Halliburton did the big cojones
No,
and didn't get fined,
nice.
on one of the game winners that he did
The
against
Knicks.
Cleveland.
Oh, the
So
Cleveland. Yeah.
yeah, so that was gonna be that series starts tomorrow, Tuesday, actually.
Yeah. Let's start. Yeah, let's see here.
Yeah, I believe they start Tuesday, and then Wednesday is OKC, Minnesota.
Let me see here. Oh no, tomorrow's OKC Minnesota. And
Oh,
then Wednesday is Pacers Knicks. That is nuts.
yeah, the Pacers have been chilling for a while, which is not
Yeah. So is the
it's
so have the Timberwolves.
yeah. Oh, that is very true. So we have the bottom seeds, we have the lower seeds that everyone's surprised are still there
Yeah.
for some reason, and like they've been chilling. They
Yeah.
took care of business the way the way they were intended to.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be crazy. Dude, I don't know who I'm gonna go with, but man, I think I'm gonna get this wrong because I've been getting most of these wrong this season. Dude, I think I'm gonna have to go with the New York Knicks.
New York Knicks going to the finals.
Yeah. This
All
and a
right.
7 game series though.
Let's go matchup player by player if we can. So
Hmm.
we got Brunson versus Tyrese Halliburton.
Brunson for me.
Brunson,
Yeah.
okay. Oh yeah, if you really think about it, Brunson's way more clutch.
Yeah.
He's way more consistent as a point scorer
Yeah.
and a playmaker. And then say so we have Cat versus Miles Turner. That's going to be a fun matchup because they
Yeah.
play very similar to each
They
other.
do. I
Um,
think so too.
and who else do they got? So they got
Um, Let me see. I'm trying to think of like their was it their two guards and all that.
yeah, because
Um,
then we have Mikal Bridges versus God damn. Let me look at their roster,
Mikal
son.
Bridges, okay, he's their small forward. Let me look at the Pacers fucking lineup. Uh,
All right, so I'll look at the Knicks.
Mathurin, there we go.
So Benedict Mathurin, I feel I don't know if it's gonna work, but he had a really good way of getting in DeAndre Hunter's head.
Yeah.
Like he really got to that fool. Like I was just like, man, you haven't seen a player get into someone else's head in such a long time. I
Hmm.
feel like mentally a lot of the players in the league are a lot stronger.
Hmm.
But man, I saw this dude collapse, you know, because after that incident that I mentioned earlier, DeAndre Hunter stayed in the game and he did not play well after that. Like
Really? Oh
even
shit.
he knew he was just like, man, I should have gotten thrown out too, like. But and then we got Josh Hart
Josh Hart, OG.
versus OG. Oh,
That's what I'm saying, dude. And then Andrew Nemhard, I'm hard.
mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, dude, he's a good point guard. Yeah, Aaron Nesmith, Obi Toppin.
Aaron Nesmith is pretty good.
Yeah,
Obi Toppin can get hot when you need him to.
yeah,
Like he's been shooting pretty lights out from three and
yeah,
making the right plays. And see, like the Pacers play with such like I don't want to use the word pace, but I can't
yeah,
think of another word just
yeah,
because obviously they're the Pacers, but they play with such pace that like they're very high velocity, like
yeah.
just in transition, just so quick, just
Hmm.
and to be able to figure out a play in that you know. And then off the bench, you have TJ McConnell versus Deuce McBride.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So Deuce McBride has the ability to, you know, hit shots, and also he plays pretty good defense. Did you see that block that he had against Derek White?
Yeah.
It was
I was watching it.
pretty fucking nasty. And there's nothing you can do about that. Like when a player decides to play that much, that much better than you, like I feel like he plays with a level of confidence
Hmm.
that once he is confident, it's kind of hard to put him out.
Yeah.
Josh Hart is a hustle machine.
Yeah.
Like he'll as a guard out rebound, get offensive rebounds when you're not expecting it. He's like he just hustles so much.
Yeah.
And then he's not just getting the offensive rebound, he has the athleticism to put it back in the hoop. So,
Honestly, yeah.
hmm
Oh, dude, you know who we forgot for the Pacers?
who?
Pascal Siakam.
Pascal Siakam, dude.
Fuck.
Oh my God, dude. The Pacers are low. Here's the thing. The Pacers didn't have a great. regular season.
No,
But
but who cares?
they chose the playoffs to turn it on, which is like maybe they were conserving this whole time, which I don't
Yeah,
think the Pacers are that good to be able to think like that, to be like, hey, let's conserve and really show them what we got in the playoffs. But if
yeah.
that's the case, man,
Hats off
that's
to you for entering and knowing how weak the East is, you know?
yeah. I mean, didn't they didn't they go of their first series, didn't they win 4-1 or didn't they sweep?
They won in five because that was the Bucks.
See, so it's like you win in 5 games there, you win in 5 games in the next round, and then now you're in the Eastern Conference Finals again for a second time.
Yeah.
And what have they learned? Because like they have pretty much the same squad for the most part.
I don't think they got anybody new, I think. I mean, nothing impactful like that.
Yeah.
The core is still the same.
So what have they learned from the last time they reached the Eastern Conference Finals? So it's like teams could go back and just really remember the fact that they came up short and it could drive them to not have that happen again.
Yeah. It's gonna be a clash of styles because I think obviously like you said the Pacers play with pace, but
Hmm.
I think the Knicks are just so like rebound, you know, kind of slowing down the game, trying to, control it and then kind of making it gritty. All of that stuff. I think it's going to be a clash of styles and it's going to be fun to watch.
That one's gonna be for basketball fans, it's gonna be
Yeah,
a lot of fun to watch. Just like you said, for casual fans, not so much.
not so much. But if anybody loves ball, this is going to be these finals are going to be fun to watch
Hell
whatever
yeah,
happens. Um,
absolutely.
and honestly, I think three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Yeah, I guess the Pacers could go nine deep. And what I mean by nine deep is like some of those guys like on the number eight and nine could come in and play for like 5 to 10 minutes, and it's not like, a death sentence,
Yeah,
Not with some teams, like the Lakers with only like 6 men in the rotation at most.
yeah. I think
Um,
what the Knicks are also doing that works. As far as Coach Tibbs, is he's actually making substitutions. He's not pushing his players to death
yeah, see what
on the
happens,
court.
Tibbs.
I bet that's what's happened at the start of the playoffs, or at least when they started playing the Celtics too. Like they probably met up together, and someone maybe Josh Hart was like, "Hey, coach, am I playing the whole game?" And he's like, "Let me check my notes." No,
No.
no, I guess we're not. We're not going to try that strategy this year.
Like, thank God, dude. He's like, my knees are gonna blow out mid-court.
Yeah, man.
But
So
I think the Knicks, ironically, don't have as deep of a bench as the
as the
Pacers.
Pacers,
I think they
yeah.
only go about seven deep. I think it's the five, Brunson, Cat, Bridges, Hart, OG. That's your five right there.
Hmm.
And then it's Mitchell Robinson and then Miles McBride. So that's seven.
And Mitchell Robinson is a great offensive rebounder, but he's also a liability because he sucks from the free throw line.
Oh goddamn, I saw him clink all those free throws. I
I
was like,
saw him airball 2 free throws
I know, dude. I was like, this is
in,
terrible.
in 2 separate games, and we still ended up losing. But it's like the thing about that is like it's a strategy, but it's not the best strategy,
Yeah,
especially if he starts making them because every now and then he'll throw the ball up in the perfect way, and
yeah.
like he doesn't shoot it, he throws it up there, and every now and then they're gonna go in, and
Hmm.
all it takes is rhythm for you to remember, like, okay, like I threw it like this last time. If I throw it somewhat like that, maybe it'll have a chance to go in.
Hmm.
And it also puts your team in foul trouble,
Yeah.
team and your players. So it's like you could only do that strategy so much before it collapses on you,
Yeah, for it backfires.
before it backfires on you, just like it did for the Celtics. So it's like because the thing about Mitchell Robinson is he is huge.
Yeah, he is fucking huge.
He's like 7 feet or some shit, and he's like 3,000 pounds.
I something like that.
So it's hard to move that guy. So he's gonna grab offensive rebounds, even if it's a tip to the outside. So what the Pacers might have to do is like when he does, if and when he does tip the ball out as an offensive rebound, if he doesn't grab it, you need to push the break in that sense. Like when that happens, you need to grab the ball and push the ball and just fucking run the
Run.
break, run the break, dude. Get
Run.
downhill and really get it done. So it's like, and I think the Pacers are young enough that it doesn't tire them as much to have to do that every now, like do that often in the game. I mean,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, I think it'll come down to conditioning at some point in that
Yeah.
series. You know, who's getting the right amount of rest and if Tibbs is smart about it, making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, it's like
Hmm.
now's the time to coach like a smart coach. You know,
Yeah.
like
I mean, you've been
now
doing fine just already. Like,
you've
just
been
keep doing what you're doing.
took down the champion, the defending champs, dude, in one game more than you guys needed to, honestly. You know, like, and that could have been like, I mean, what was it, game four, game five, game five, I mean,
Yeah. They
when
kind of just blew it.
when they lost to the Celtics without Tatum.
Yeah.
That one I was just like, that one might have just been given. Honestly, they probably felt bad and they're like, we'll take care of them in the next
Yeah.
game at home,
And
which
got
makes sense.
lazy.
Yeah, it's funny to see all the New York fans celebrate
That shit was nuts, dude.
moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's like, dude, just at least wait until you win, until you make it to the finals to
Yeah.
celebrate that much. Because it's like, just because you beat the defending champs doesn't mean that they're giving you a trophy.
Yeah.
Like you
At
had,
least win the East, right?
you got no trophy yet.
Yeah.
You got zero trophy, sir.
Yeah.
You didn't even get a division trophy. Like
Yeah, that's true.
or you didn't even get a division banner. I mean, like
Yeah.
you weren't even the champions of your division. You guys just took down the defending champion, but that doesn't mean that you won anything yet.
Yeah.
You won another series, and now you're moving on to the next one, and this is when you're going to get tested.
Hmm.
You know, because you got to make it to the next one for it to actually mean something.
Honestly, yep.
So it's like it's cool to celebrate, but at the same time, chill the fuck out, y'all. Like you guys are partying, like it's like that's it.
Yeah.
But that's how you know like there's a lot of casual fans probably in New York.
Yeah.
And I know this because Frankie Oy, who's not from New York, was texting me like, "Yeah, New York, baby." I was like, "Fool, you don't even know half the roster. Stop it. Stop, man. Now you're just doing it to piss me off."
He was the one of the guys climbing on top of the billboards.
He was just trolling. He was just trolling. That's what he does best. But
Honestly, I would just tell Tibbs, listen, you got seven guys.
mhm,
Um, Play Cameron Payne, Precious Achua, and PJ Tucker all together combined for maybe 5 minutes. Just give those guys a breather.
mhm.
Like, I don't care what it is. Like, let them play for like 2 minutes each or something like
Yeah,
that. But let Josh Hart get a breather for a second.
yeah,
Because honestly, there's nobody else really that's
yeah.
gonna play that much. Maybe Marjon Beauchamp, but honestly,
No.
outside of Mitchell Robinson and Miles McBride, I can't really see anybody else coming off the bench for them consistently, except
Right,
maybe Precious Achua and Campaign.
right.
Maybe.
Maybe campaign. May that's a huge maybe actually.
Yeah, because it's like depending on who gets in foul trouble, then I could see Precious Achua coming in and doing a job for about 10 minutes. I could see him doing that. He's not
Mm-hmm.
a complete liability for that long, but that's where I think the Pacers come in because I think they're just a deeper team, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like outside of their main seven, you still got TJ McConnell
Mm-hmm.
and then their center Thomas Bryant, who's not too bad. He does what he's supposed to do, which is give Miles Turner a breather.
Give him a breather and grab some rebounds and box out. So
Put that
him
shit
versus
back up.
him versus Mitchell Robinson is going to be very interesting.
Hmm.
You know,
The battle of the backups.
the battle of the backups, man. So it's
Yeah.
like I think in every series, players have their moments.
Hmm.
You know, so we might see a Mikal Bridges moment. We're definitely going to see Jalen Brunson's moment and Cat's moment.
Yeah.
But you know, are we going to see a Deuce McBride type of game where he comes out and just shoots the lights out? You know,
Hmm.
I think it's harder to think of which player aside from Brunson and Cat are gonna like have their moment.
Yeah.
Whereas for the Pacers, man, fucking Andrew Nemhard could have his moment. Tyrese Halliburton can. Miles Turner definitely can.
Yep.
Fucking Pascal Siakam absolutely can. Obi Toppin can. Like there's all these players that like TJ McConnell could have his moments. Like they have so many more players that are more able to have more expected to have a moment in the Eastern Conference Finals. And again, coming back from last season when they got swept by the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what do you learn from that? Like
Yep.
you're gonna learn something. You had to have learned something. If
You
not,
have to.
the next time get eliminated in the first round.
You gotta get eliminated in the first round.
Yeah. Just make it to the playoffs and be like, you know what? By the time we make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, we're gonna fumble it again
Yeah.
because we haven't learned anything.
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how they respond from last season's you know uh
Run.
run and what they do differently this season or how they play differently this season with which kind of intensity. And I
Hmm.
think it's gonna come down to who definitely wants to make it to the finals more.
Honestly, yep. That's what's
Yeah.
yep. It's always gonna be down to that.
But it
So
would
who
be
do you got?
nice. It would be nice to see New York
Mm.
go to the finals. It would be nice to see because it's like it's a big city, dude. Like they kind of need it.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
kind of need it.
they kind of need a basketball team to because it's also going to push the market because now like players are going to want to play for,
New
say they
York.
make it to the finals, say they make it to say they win a championship this season.
Hmm.
If they do, like New York is a badass city, you
Yep.
know?
Hmm.
Like who's not going to want to live in that condensed town,
That fucking
you
God
know?
fuck
Whereas like if you're an NBA player and you don't have a penthouse in some sort, like not a penthouse, but like even a like
studio.
nice place,
Yeah.
Like but New York has got to be really cool to like live in and play ball in and now if you're like a championship team, like that elevates that city even higher for basketball.
Yep. It's
And
gonna be crazy.
as far as Indiana, man, that's a bad they
They're
claim to have started
they're
basketball.
a basketball city,
They're a
man.
basketball
State.
city, man. They're a
State.
basketball state. That's the Hoosiers. They love basketball. They're in love with
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark right now. It's like even in the WNBA, they have fans over there. So it's like that town loves basketball, which is crazy because they seem like to be like the most racist
The what?
out of all the whites, man. So it's like it's gonna be cool, man. Like whichever team makes it, it's gonna be real cool to see, like as a basketball fan, and it's gonna elevate those cities. However, if the Indiana Pacers win, I still don't think people want to sign for
No.
Indiana.
No.
Like intentionally be like, I want to play for the championship team of Indiana.
Yeah.
It's
Nobody
like
want
no,
no.
it's
Unfortunately, like things
no,
don't change that much.
yeah,
You might be able to get a couple players here and there that be like, oh, okay, like I can go there and be like, that's okay for me to develop, you know?
yeah, yeah. Or you might get like some like a player that's like close to the end of their career, like a KD, and be like, hey, I want to make one last run at a championship, and I just want to play with the best odds.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it could be with the next champion, but that's not gonna happen, Indiana. He's not going to Indiana. I'm
No, you don't,
sorry.
and you don't want him there.
You don't want him there, and he doesn't want to be there. It's not a good relationship.
Yeah, just stick with your guys that you got.
Hmm.
Get a couple young players here and there.
Yeah.
Have them buy into the system.
But I will
Uh,
say this about Indiana: no one was expecting you to be here.
no, nobody was. That's the
Nobody
thing.
was expecting. If we were to have this conversation, if someone were to have brought this up mid-season, like, hey, Indiana will be in the Eastern Conference Finals, we would have laughed in their face.
Yeah, I
We
would
would
have
have
been like
pointed
second
and
round at best.
yeah, we would have pointed and laughed,
Yeah.
So
So is that your pick, or you got New York like me?
I got New York.
You got New York. Okay, so we both got New
Ah,
York.
fuck, I
We've
don't know,
cursed them.
man.
We cursed them.
I don't know. I kind of want to go Indiana just
Hmm.
based on their depth,
Yeah.
but I don't want Indiana to
Yeah.
win. Fuck, I don't want the Knicks to win either, honestly. I want the Boston Celtics to win. But if I'm looking at this impartially,
Yeah.
then yeah, I would see that the NBA in general will benefit with the Knicks moving on to the finals.
I think there will be some, if it gets too close, it will be some questionable decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna do the Chuck guaranteed.
We're- it's gonna be a good series. It's gonna be a wild series. And like I said, the storyline's already there. It's almost kind of like scripted if you
Yeah.
ask me.
Yeah.
But like no. But yeah, the storyline is there, the history is there. Both home crowds are gonna be fucking wild, especially in
Yep.
Indiana. I think Indiana, like I think I forgot who it was that tweeted. Like I think Indiana fans are way louder than New York fans.
Oh, that was Trey Young
Trey Young, yeah,
because
yeah.
he hates New York.
Oh, yeah. But he's got a point. Like honestly, like Indiana, they're so crazy about basketball. They'll pack a stadium up for or they'll pack the stands up for a fucking high school game.
Dude, yeah, it's weird, but I mean, good
They
for them.
love basketball, and I could respect that 100%.
I can respect it too. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, well, and what else is there to do in Indiana?
Yeah. In New York, there's so much to do.
Yeah.
There's so many places to get drunk at and not do a damn thing in New York and just have fun. And it's a beautiful city. Um, so it's like just as far as like I want New York to make it just because it'll be really good for the NBA.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't mind Indiana going just because I know those fans are crazy about basketball and I
Yeah.
highly respect that. But also their depth.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with New York.
All right, we went with New York then.
New York
Where I need to get that button, the guaranteed button. All right. Shifting over to was it God's favorite times or God's favorite area is
to the West Coast
the
with
West
with
Coast.
with a team that really should be in the East Coast
Yeah, the
because it's
Minnesota
yeah, like
Timberwolves.
what the
Yeah.
fuck are they doing in the West? But
I
anyways,
don't know. But apparently like they're still considered Midwest. I don't get it, dude.
it's probably the way
I
they
can't even
talk.
say these are God's favorites because also both Midwest. They're not even on the West Coast at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got the Thunder, the number one seeded Thunder against the number six Minnesota Timberwolves. Crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a one versus a six seed before like this.
No, that's crazy. That is insane.
Yeah. And it's crazy because also at the same time, like it's not like it's been like the past few series. Like there is a substantial difference in the games won between Minnesota and the Thunder. Like
Mm.
it is 68 games won to Minnesota's 49 games. That is almost 20 games. That is 19 games, I believe.
That's why the season really only determines your placement. So if you think about where the Timberwolves, the path that they had to go through,
Hmm.
so they had to go through the Lakers, and this is the Lakers, the high hope in Lakers, thinking just because they got Luka that they were going to be handed a championship, or at
No.
least all the Laker fans thought that.
Yeah, with all the dumb ones. I thought we could
Uh,
get past Minnesota. That's about as far as I thought we could get.
hmm
Just because I did not expect Julius Randle to show up the way he has,
yeah,
and I expected Rudy Gobert to be more of a liability than he was originally, and that was my predictions for that. But I was proven wrong. Well, halfway. The Rudy one got kind of proven right, but um,
he had his moments.
he has moments though. But yeah, it was glad he had his moments, which I did not expect.
I
But
think
the
he had
Julius
a
Randle
moment.
one completely
Yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just I think at some point some players are just tired of losing, tired of being moved around so much, where they're just
Yeah,
like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win," you
yeah.
know?
I'm
And
glad.
yeah. So they played against the Lakers, took them down, and then they played against the Warriors, who they
They beat the
took down
shit
the
out of.
and it's like well you played them without Curry, which is like it's one player. However, a lot of the plays are made through Stephen Curry. It's not just his shooting abilities and his the way he can bring a game back just by hitting threes when you
Mhm.
really need it, but uh the way he would, break the defense down when he would drive and his shooting threat just allowed other players to get open for shots as well. Um, but yeah, they had to battle an injured, an incomplete Warriors team. So you gotta take the little
Yeah.
details away,
Hmm.
and each of these little details adds up to an asterisk. I,
Yeah.
I I know a lot of people want to give the Minnesota Timberwolves credit, and I do. I also as well want to give them credit for
Yeah.
playing as hard as they have. But if you look up matchup for matchup, like just like we did in the Eastern Conference. So we have SGA versus
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards,
Hmm.
so and then like even if they have a switch and now they have SGA on old ass Mike Conley,
Yep.
and so OKC has SGA, they have Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, the one that opens his eyes all the way.
Yeah.
Um
J-Dub, not Jalen.
J Dub.
Goddamn.
Yeah, and then uh
Caruso.
Caruso, they got
Lou
man,
Dort.
Lou Dort, who my goodness, can this guy shoot?
Hmm.
This dude can shoot. And they haven't even gotten deep into their bench yet,
Yeah,
you
dude,
know?
I think they can put out an entire fucking second unit.
Yeah, yeah. And then at least if they have a lead, they could hold down the line with the second unit and
Yeah.
not necessarily have to overplay their players. So it's
Yeah.
like man, dude, are they scared? Are they tooled to make it to the next round? They are tooled to make it to the next round.
I think so too.
And then if you look at Minnesota, they have a solid team too, but I think what they had the Thunder had to battle a Jokic who was
Yeah.
just a fucking machine. Like there's like he's my goodness.
Hmm.
And even the Denver Nuggets knew it because they would fucking always look at Papa Jokic to save them in any circumstance. And
Yeah.
that's really all they had because, okay, again, if we're gonna talk about how um, Minnesota had to go through an injured uh, Golden State team, well, OKC had to go to 7 games against a team that wasn't perfectly healthy at all.
Yeah.
They had an interim coach because they fired
Mike Malone.
Mike Malone 3 games before the playoffs. So they had to go with an interim coach to try to guide them through this, playoffs, guide them through the postseason. And then they have Michael Porter Jr. who's dealing with shoulder
Yeah, he's
issues.
he's like running around with like an ice pack on his
Yeah,
shoulder.
I've never seen that before. I was like, I don't know if he's,
I was like, is
you
that
know,
legal? I was like, I didn't know you could do that in the
yeah,
NBA.
yeah, it's insane. That's insane. And Aaron Gordon, who is struggling with injuries as well, and
His legs almost exploded too.
yeah, his hamstring. He's playing and it's funny. Here's the thing. It's really funny when a team gets eliminated. Now all the injuries, come to fruition.
Yeah.
It happened with the Celtics. Obviously they lost
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, but also
Yeah.
after all said and done, after they were eliminated, they were like, oh yeah, also Jaylen Brown had
Torn
something,
meniscus.
yeah, a torn meniscus. So it's like, okay, man, like if we were gonna lose a series, don't make it worse.
Yeah, like don't yeah, like let's just own up to it.
I get it. We wanted a repeat, but if it's hard to do. It's
Yeah.
impossible, and now it's impossible.
Hmm.
It's impossible to get back if
Yeah.
if you're the Celtics. But anyways, we're gonna move on from the freaking Celtics. We're talking about OKC and Minnesota right now. So Minnesota has Anthony Edwards. They have Mike Connolly, Jaden McDaniels, which is a great defensive player. So
Yeah.
his matchup against Mikal Bridges is going to be pretty good because they're probably going to cancel out.
You mean
Uh,
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, or what do you mean? Because you said Mikal Bridges.
oh shit, my bad. Oh shit. See, I'm already getting ready for the fucking finals here.
Yeah, see, you want so you're picking Minnesota
I
then.
want Minnesota.
I want
I want
Minnesota too. I
Minnesota.
want Minnesota
I
too.
want the
Damn it.
best team to lose.
I know.
I want this
Ah,
shit to be historic, damn it.
yeah.
But anyways, it's probably not going to happen.
It's not. I
It's
don't think it is.
probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't
But
think it is,
and
man.
who they have Nas Reed, Rudy Gobert, I think when Nas Reed comes off the bench, right?
Yeah, I think yeah, if it's gonna come down to if this fool can hit his fucking shots.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he can number one, I think he can definitely bully Chet.
Mm-hmm.
And then number two, Chet has not been shooting good from three,
Mm-hmm.
and Naz Reid has been consistently solid for the most part, from
Yeah.
three.
Yeah.
So I think if they can take advantage of that mismatch, I think they got a shot.
Yeah. So, and then we got Julius Randle. So if he keeps playing the way he has been playing in these
Yeah,
last two series, if he's able to, because he's going to be matched up against who?
their
Probably
power forward.
Holmgren or
Probably fuck.
J Dub,
Maybe J Dub or Lou Dort, one or the other.
Ludor. Yeah, see,
Yeah, because that's J Dub is he's 6'5", but he's a big boy.
hmm
So is Lou Dort. I want, yeah, 6'4". Yeah, they're big boys. Julius, I think, is probably taller than them, but no, he's a big boy.
I don't
Because
think that even matters.
yeah, Julius is 6'9", but
Yeah,
yeah, but he is a big boy. That's the thing.
yeah.
All those
So
guys.
so we would put Rudy Gobert against Hartenstein.
I think that's barbecue chicken for Hartenstein, but
For
I could all,
Hartenstein, yeah,
but
he's
I
gonna
think,
just hit him with that left-handed floater.
yeah, he's just too awkward. That's the thing, and I
Yeah.
think Rudy struggles with that.
hmm And also, our Isaiah Hartenstein's really good at reading, like reading the plays. Like
Yeah.
he's got vision.
Hmm.
He's got basketball IQ. So,
Yeah.
and that's
Um.
something like that Rudy Gobert doesn't really have. He has rebounding abilities and defense,
Yeah.
but
I
you
think he
can,
should stay on Chet, if anything.
yeah. And they shouldn't give him the ball.
Mm.
It's like earn the ball, son.
Rudy needs to just fucking rim run and catch alley-oops,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, and then
Yeah.
get putbacks. That's
Yeah.
it.
Putbacks. Yeah.
Putbacks or kick it out, one or the other. Pick
Yeah.
pick one.
Well, I think Chet Holmgren is more of a lob threat than Rudy Gobert is.
Oh, he definitely is. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just way too long. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
And that's the thing about OKC, they slash to the basket like crazy, so they're gonna get into uh Minnesota's gonna get into foul trouble.
Yeah.
Now the
And
question is Anthony Edwards versus SGA.
oh, that's gonna be nuts, dude.
That's gonna be
Um,
nuts.
Aura King? Damn, I don't know, man. Can we give him another King Slayer here? I don't know, man.
Man, if he does, man, then we're gonna have a fun ass fucking finals. I will say that.
If that's the case, I'm rooting for deadbeat dads for the rest of my life because Rudy Gobert apparently is also a deadbeat.
Oh, well,
I don't know if you saw that.
sometimes you gotta prioritize fucking winning basketball games.
Yeah, fuck my family.
Wait, what did Rudy Gobert do? He left his freaking baby's mom or some shit?
Yeah, he told because she wants to go back or something. I don't know what he said, but yeah, he's being a deadbeat. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it, why not? Like, come
Yeah.
on, lady. I'm close, this close to getting a title. Like,
Whatever it takes.
yeah, 8 games. Realistically, you're only 8 wins away. You're
Yeah.
only 8 wins away.
Dude, that's the way I was watching the playoffs for the Celtics. And the
16, 16 wins.
last time I was bringing last time I bring them up, but when they won the first series, I'm like, okay, damn, fucking 12 games to go. Let's go,
Yeah.
And then it all hell broke loose, But so yeah, realistically, you got to win 8 more games and maybe lose, four total, if
Yeah.
that. And I'm talking in total of, the conference finals plus. So
Yeah,
you
because
you
you don't
lose
want to. Yeah,
two
you don't want to
games,
add six to that.
2 games in the Eastern in the conference finals, and maybe 2 games in the finals, and
Yep.
then you win a championship, baby.
Yep. You're not
You raise a
far
banner in your
in your fucking
fucking
arena.
secluded fucking Minnesota.
Yeah.
Dude, I have family that lives in Minnesota. It
That
makes no sense.
you should go to an NBA Finals game.
Absolutely not. Because they don't live anywhere near anything, man. It's funny because like when
Oh,
when
really?
they'll tell me they're like, oh yeah, the nearest Walmart's 4 hours away.
Where the fuck do they live?
Shit.
Do you know the name of the city or town? I mean, doesn't sound like a city.
Well, wherever they're from, it shouldn't exist. If it's 4 hours away from everything, should just be plots of land and that's it. It should just
Because
be.
I've been to Minneapolis. I haven't been to Target Center, but I've walked on the street where Target Center is at.
Mhm.
Um, honestly, Minneapolis is a great little is a not great little, but great city. Like it was cool.
Yeah.
Um, everything was like either walking distance or you could take like a train there. So I thought that was cool.
They have trains over there? Okay.
Yeah, like the city of Minneapolis itself
Mm-hmm.
has like a line, so I think I took like Green Line to get to Target Center, but I can't remember. But
Oh.
did see a baseball game, the Minnesota Twins, but uh Yeah, fuck it, just go. Get finals tickets. Set your whole family back like 2 generations.
I'm good.
Set your whole Come on, ball is life. Join the Deadbeat Dad Club.
No. Oh man, that's a t-shirt.
Yeah, join the Deadbeat Dad Club.
That's what they should have. You know how they have t-shirts in the like for the like playoff games and stuff like that? They
Mhm.
they put t-shirts on the seats and have everybody wear the same color.
Yeah,
That's what the shirts should say. Deadbeat Dad Club.
Deadbeat Dad Club. Fuck it. I'm gonna see if I can name that. I'm gonna name the name of the. This episode is gonna be the Deadbeat Dad Club. Deadbeat Dad Club, and that's gonna
Yeah.
be NBA conference finals preview.
Yeah, man. So, dude, it's so in that series though, I think we're both going OKC, right?
I'm going to OKC. Like, I just think that they have just too much, dude. Like, I think it's just gonna be tough. It's not again. It's the same thing. It's like it could go either way. I don't want to
Hmm.
say that as a weak thing, but I just think that OKC's weaknesses can be hid a lot better than Minnesota's weaknesses
Yeah.
because we're asking a lot from not only Anthony Edwards but also Julius Randle. Dante DiVincenzo has not shot well this whole playoff series.
Right.
Jaden McDaniels, as much as I like him, just not a threat moving forward.
Hmm.
Good defensively. So if he can turn it the fuck up on SGA and not let him do anything, then we're having a completely different conversation.
Hmm.
Um, but I just think their talent is just a little bit too much for Minnesota. OKC's talent is too much for Minnesota to handle.
They have
Uh,
Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
they have Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who's
They
also very
have
good.
their own hyphenated team member.
That's true. Hey, the battle of the hyphens.
The Battle of the
I'm switching
Hyphens.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker on SGA just for that. I'm like, I would if I'm the coach, if I'm Chris Finch, I'm telling him, hey, he said he has a better hyphenated name than you. It's like go out,
Coach,
go
how come
fight
I
him.
gotta guard him? Because you
Yeah,
both have hyphenated last names.
yeah, go fight him.
Yeah.
Do they have anybody? Do they have any? Oh, I would probably tell Dante DiVincenzo to go guard Alex Caruso. I'd be like, here, go fight the whites.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, let the whites fight.
Let the whites fight. Winner gets to say the N-word once.
Yeah, Witter gets to say the N-word once, but Anthony Edwards has to give the okay for that one.
Mm-hmm.
He's
And
the only
it has to be to a song though. Like you can't just say it
just wild out
you
and
can't
say
just fucking
it.
go out there and say it like you can. Like it's got to be part of a song,
Yeah.
and you can only say it once. So if the song repeats it, you can only say it one time. So choose it right.
Oh God, and then who else has they got? They don't got any old ass men on OKC. I was about to say let Mike Conley fight the oldest dude on the roster, but I think that might be Alex Caruso,
Alex Caruso's the oldest one, huh?
and he's only like 30.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's not looking good for them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm curious to see like how the officiating is gonna go
hmm
because obviously OKC has the ability to get to the line a lot
yeah,
and it makes the game boring
yeah. I don't like to see that.
when it's like that. So, but it's gonna happen. So I wonder how the officiating is gonna go in that sense. Because I think it's like if it's ticky tack, dude, in the Eastern Conference Finals, moving forward, if it's ticky tack, don't call that shit.
Yeah.
Or if you are gonna call it like that for both teams.
Yeah,
You
because
know.
that's the thing. These teams are it's gonna be like what do you call it? Bumper cars.
Hmm.
If they let these two teams play, it's gonna be fucking bumper cars.
Yeah, and we want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see that until somebody fucking slams into the ground. Then I'd be like, all right, we gotta call the
Yeah,
foul because goddamn.
yeah. It's
But
gonna be.
I'm going OKC in six for this one. I think I feel a lot more confident about this one
Hmm.
ending in six for OKC than
I honestly think this is kind of what they wanted too. Like they got through Jokic, and I think that
yeah,
was their toughest challenge, and they were already kind of injury depleted.
yeah.
They weren't at full strength,
hmm
you know. But honestly, I mean, if we're gonna be honest, at full strength, Denver could they have still maybe beat the OKC Thunder?
At full strength,
Probably.
maybe.
Because they had to go to 7 games, you know.
Yeah.
If they were at full strength in that game 7,
Because I think I don't think it was necessarily like a talent thing. I think it was just once you've won, you just know how to win. It's one of those
Hmm.
things.
Yeah.
And that's something that OKC had to learn. So I'm hoping they absorb that superpower from them and then
Because
they just carry that into this series.
last season they got eliminated in the second round, right?
Yeah, by Dallas, by the power of Luca.
Well, that's over.
Yeah. Um,
Don't have to worry about that anymore.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think it was you have Luca and Kyrie, and that's already a pain in the ass enough.
Hmm.
And then the Timberwolves, the Mavericks could run double bigs with Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford.
Hmm.
Um, and then every now and then Dwight Powell or Maxi Kleber, and
Hmm.
then who else have they got? I can't remember who else they had on that
They
squad,
had
but
Derek Jones Jr. They
Derrick
had
Jones Jr.
PJ Washington.
Yeah, I see a good, just a good flexible roster and but I think the other thing is if they hadn't been dumb, the Mavericks, and they kept everybody and everybody was healthy, I still think that Maverick squad could beat the OKC Thunder because I think Luca with enough protection around him, enough help, I think would have been a menace because I don't think there's anybody that
You know,
in OKC that could actually stop Luca.
I don't think Luca minds going to the Lakers, but it was definitely not his choice. Like
No, that he would have stayed in Dallas.
I think he would have stayed in Dallas. And like
He
I
would
said,
not have gone
he's
anywhere.
not from the United States.
Yeah,
So
he doesn't care about wherever
he
the
doesn't
fuck
have
he
a
was.
he doesn't have a connection to any of the teams.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a lot of those European guys, they don't give a fuck about big market, small market, anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah, they just want to win.
Jokic could be in fucking Indiana and he would be happy there.
That
Like
would be
honestly.
insane.
Actually, he might be even happier than Denver because he might have his fucking horses.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
But regardless, I'm going with OKC in
Hmm.
six. I just think that they got a little bit too much for Minnesota, but I do think Minnesota has enough to make this a series, and I'm
Hmm.
hoping that at least they do. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. Have a good dance partner. Take this shit to seven. Let's fucking go. Let's make this conference finals a memorable one, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's the best case scenario
Yeah.
for basketball fans if both series go to 6 or 7.
Yeah.
You
Like
know,
a lot of people complain about this shit all the time, and I just kind of want to tell them to fuck off. I'm like, nah, whatever boomer hoops you wanted to watch, that time is over. You gotta just accept that this is what it is now. We can complain about the three ball we want, but this is what it is now. The game's changed, okay?
the young players are here.
The young players are here.
They're not
Just
going anywhere.
they're not going anywhere, and just because you don't understand new defensive schemes and how offense works in the modern NBA, that's your problem, not the players. It's
Yeah.
about like we talked about this. It's about, who's a cone on defense, and if you got more cones on defense, chances are you're going to lose. And then
Hmm.
even your cones need to be effective on offense, enough to shoot a three. That's what they're there for.
Hmm.
It's just the way the NBA went, and I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm not saying it's a bad thing either. It's just what it is now. It's street ball, dude. Like that's what it is now. It's closer to street ball now than what it is before. What do we do in street ball? Kick the ball out wide, get the open man, just get the ball movement.
Hmm.
And the good teams won't just shoot threes. The good teams will also cut to the basket.
Yeah, they have different like different variations of how to score.
Yeah.
So
And
like
some teams run double bigs.
yeah, so I think like offensively OKC is probably gonna win in that department,
Hmm.
but they're also really damn good at defense.
That's true. Yeah.
So
It's gonna be a fun series, man. So for our finals, we got OKC versus the New York Knicks.
wow.
That's what we've got.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can put a
Honestly,
timestamp on this. Put that out
honestly,
there.
honestly, I wouldn't be I still wouldn't be upset at the OKC Indiana series.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't
The
be upset with either of these series.
Battle of the Midwest.
Minnesota, Indiana, or OKC, Indiana. Yeah, I'm not mad about that. That's a crazy fucking series.
OKC Indiana would be a lot of fun actually.
Yeah. Small markets.
Yeah. But ultimately winning a chip though.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah. That would be crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that changes your whole franchise.
By the way, also unless you're a Pacers fan, you know how they have those brackets that you could fill out to win $1 million?
Yeah.
Pacers just fucked that up for everybody
Yeah, they fucked that up for
because
everybody.
they nobody thought.
Yeah.
People thought it was going to be closer against the Bucks. Honestly, that was round one.
Yeah. I don't think I've met anybody that's like, if they're truly honest, that said that they had that prediction going. Like I did not expect them to be this far.
No, it's because we're basing it based. We're basing it on the regular season.
And also vibes, dude. I just didn't
Hmm.
think. I just thought that Indiana would be kind of like a one-hit wonder, and then we'd be back here,
Nah.
talking about them
Isn't this Minnesota's second time also going to the conference finals?
consecutively. Yeah,
What did they learn?
yeah. Well, I mean, that's what happens when you got the Aura King, and I mean, it's a good constructed roster. I mean, it's that's what I think people forget in the modern NBA. It's not about having all these stars. It's about having maybe two stars that take up at least half of your salary and then have the rest be filled out with a bunch of good role players.
Dude, but like if we end up with OKC New York, dude, Carl Anthony Town. I mean, if I'm sorry, not New York. If we end up with Minnesota versus New York,
Uh-huh.
then we have Carl Anthony Towns versus his old team.
Yeah, Julius versus his old team.
What? Oh my
Dante
God.
versus his
Versus
his
his old team.
roommates,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Villanova boys.
Villanova boys, man. So imagine being one of the Villanova boys. They both make it to the finals, but however, New York wins, and
hmm
now you're the one
Villanova boy.
Villanova boy left out of the championship.
Yeah.
Boy.
Or you're the only Villanova boy with a title, dude. It's
Oh
yeah.
shit. You know, so it's like, man, there's so many storylines that if you're not an NBA fan, you're probably not gonna understand.
Yeah, we've got that one. Yeah. Let's see, Indiana. Yeah, Indiana, OKC would just be a Midwest small market battle. It goes down to who the fuck actually knows how to run a front office at this point. Um, Indiana, Minnesota, also another Midwestern battle. William Henderson's probably gonna take his shirt off for that one. Um,
For the Midwest, nah, not
yeah.
unless it's Detroit.
Maybe not, but who knows? He might give a shout out to the Midwest for that.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then like you said, the Knicks versus OKC. We got Dominicans versus the Whites.
Hmm.
It's gonna be nuts, man. We're
It's
gonna
gonna
have
be,
cowboy boots versus Tim's.
yeah, dude, it's yeah, for real. I mean, dude, it's cool to like one of these young players are gonna be championship or are gonna be champions. I mean, either
Yeah,
Jalen Brunson,
somebody.
Tyrese Halliburton, SGA, or Anthony Edwards. Like that's oh my gosh, dude, this is
That's why, dude. People have been just holding on to the old stuff for too long,
nah,
man.
man. That all that stuff is time catches up, man. Time catches up. You can't have LeBron win all the time.
We
And
can't.
he wasn't, and he
Yeah,
really wasn't, you know. He
yeah,
only won one title with the Lakers, and it was
yeah,
the bubble season, which that was weird. That was a
yeah,
weird championship to win.
yeah,
Um, but can't always want the Boston Celtics to win. I mean, I always want them to win,
yeah,
but it's not always gonna happen.
yeah. It's just the cycle of life, dude. It's literally just how it goes, dude. You can't win all the time, dude. It's not like the 1950s when
Yeah.
the Celtics won fucking 8 in a row. That's never gonna happen ever again.
No,
Yeah,
no,
like that doesn't
especially
happen in the modern NBA.
yeah, even repeating it's tough.
It's gonna be a while before we have even just a back-to-back champion.
Hmm.
Like I'm not
Yeah.
talking three, just two. Like
Hmm.
it's gonna be a while before we have one again.
Yeah.
Watch
Because
watch another watch next year, fucking OKC or whoever wins this season wins again.
hey man, it wouldn't be bad, dude. It
It
would
wouldn't be
not be.
bad.
It wouldn't be bad because it's like you can't have the same teams winning all the damn time because I don't think that's good for the. I don't think that's good for basketball. I don't think that's good for the NBA.
Yeah,
Because now this creates kind of like a the bandwagon fans are gonna come out of this,
yeah.
and it's like,
Honestly. And you know what? This is what's his name? David Stern's worst nightmare. He is hoping for New York to win that fucking series because he's
hmm
looking at the Pacers versus OKC or Timberwolves in the finals, and I wouldn't be surprised if David Stern comes back from the dead, man.
to change some shit.
Yeah, like you're just gonna see his old fucking skeleton ass come out of the ground and just be like, Knicks,
Scott Foster,
Lakers,
you know what to do.
I got your money. Yeah, dude, yeah, that's how I know the series is gonna get extended. Scott Foster, all right, we're definitely getting Game 6 then.
Hmm.
Once I start seeing somebody go up, what do you call it, 2-1 in a series, and I see Scott Foster for Game 4, I'm like, nope, 2-2 now. Series is gonna be extended.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so we got Knicks and OKC in the finals.
Woo!
Dude, those ticket prices, man, are gonna be insane.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Did you
good thing.
see how much it was to get into the Game 7 for OKC?
No,
It wasn't that bad. It was only like 185.
really?
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, if that's the case, I'll fucking go too.
The OKC?
Yeah, like if that was a thing, like if I had more money, but like if that was the case, dude, like I would probably go and for $185, yeah, that's worth
I
it.
don't, I don't think they party in OKC, man.
They don't. It would be boring, but
I feel like after every game they're just like, all right, thank the Lord, let's go to sleep.
probably. Yeah, see,
Hmm.
$184 for like a 300 section. That's not
Ha
bad for a playoff.
have I said this on the pod? I did say this on the podcast that
Their
OKC
prayer,
ha
the
has
pastor or
God
something.
on their side
Yeah,
for every
hey,
game.
hey, they got him through
It
the
got him through.
satanic power of Jokic's fucking baby seal air ball fucking three.
His satanic power.
It is satanic power. Because if I do that shit, no, and like I'm gonna look stupid, but if fucking Jokic does it, it looks like it's gonna airball or not even go close, but his goes in every time.
It looks like he's gonna overshoot it every single time.
Yeah, and
It's
but
like, oh
it
man, this.
swishes in. That's the
Hmm.
problem, or it
Yeah,
banks in.
yeah, insane.
Even Minnesota's more expensive, $233. God damn.
Damn. New York don't even look at that shit, man.
Oh,
That's
dude, I'm gonna if I do that, you're just gonna see my head explode or something.
probably $5,000.
I know one of them was.
See, the thing that I don't like about the Knicks is the same thing that I mean, the thing I don't like about Knicks games
Hmm.
is probably the same thing that I don't like about Laker games.
What?
Is they just show all the celebrities that are there.
Mm,
And it's like, who gives a shit, man?
yeah.
Who cares? Let's watch some basketball. Let's play some basketball.
Holy shit, you gotta get a queue for these Knicks tickets? God damn.
They're going hard, man.
Dude, you gotta get into a waiting room. God damn. I don't even want to look at the goddamn prices.
This is for a team that always boos their draft picks.
Yeah. Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus?
Nobody now.
Yeah. Well, he's a champion.
He is a champion. He was hurt during the playoffs last season too, so
Yeah, but he didn't have AIDS, so.
not yet. If I find out the Bostonian bitch that gave him the AIDS, dude, I'm gonna throw her into the what do you call it?
The Boston River.
Boston River, man. That's it.
They're like, what's Carlos doing in Boston? Oh shit, he's on a mission. He's got his detective hat on.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Knicks, OKC in the finals. All right, that's what we're going. Well, I think that wraps it up here, unless you got something else to say.
I will say this, we have been wrong before.
Yeah, we're probably
As a
gonna be
matter
wrong
of
again.
fact, we've been wrong a lot this season. Maybe we're cursing teams here.
Maybe we are. Maybe we are.
Hmm. But in this case, I don't think it matters who we curse, dude, because we're gonna see some good basketball.
Yeah, I mean, if like I don't really lose this way. Like if I curse the Knicks or we curse the Knicks, then if we got the Pacers in the finals and we get Timberwolves in the finals, and I'm like I'm happy with that. David Stern isn't or Adam Silver, but we
Hmm.
might see the second coming of Satan there. But fuck it.
Man, yeah, but if there's any team that like I want to see win, like maybe New York, just because like yeah, that city needs a championship. I mean, all these teams need a championship,
All
but
these
it's like
teams do.
but for the market. to see a big t like a big city
Hmm.
win. Like, a cool city. Here's the thing: if you want a cool city to win, then it's gonna be New York.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen is the NBA is going to push for New York in the finals. That way
Hmm.
there's a reason for people to tune in.
Yeah,
I think that's what's going to happen, unfortunately.
the streets are
Uh,
gonna be insane in New York.
Goddamn, dude, there's going to be so many fucking Dominicans out there.
Oh man, they're gonna be destroying everything that's already kind of destroyed.
Yeah.
The rats are gonna be running away for once. The rats are gonna
Hey, they
hide.
might come out. There might be a lot of fucking food out. They might all just overwhelm the city itself.
Yeah, yeah, it might not be good for the city then if they win.
Dude, that I'm worried that the whole city might just burn down.
Hmm.
Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus?
But yeah, man. So yeah,
Mm.
OKC, New York finals.
All
Let's
right.
let's
Got
see
it
it
locked in.
happen.
Let's see it happen. We start tomorrow. Yeah, we'll try to hopefully do a live watch along soon. And go from there, man. But
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's it. This is us signing off, unless you got anything else.
Uh, you can follow me on Instagram at
Mm.
space.los patino. When I say we, the buddy system, we have a show coming up at the Ontario Improv. Our first Sunday show, baby.
Hey,
We finally got a weekend for once.
nice.
It's the end of the weekend, but it's a weekend show.
It's a weekend show, man.
It's a
It's a
weekend
pro.
show. So that's gonna happen July 27th.
Mm.
I might have a show soon in the works as well, at Good Day.
Hmm.
Still working out the kinks and figuring out the details. And
Nice.
what else are we gonna what else do we got? I have a show coming up in Temecula at Chubby Cheeks,
There we go.
May 29th with Frank Martinez. That should be a lot of fun. I'm doing an AA meeting show. So I think
Mm.
some shit like that. I'm doing an afternoon show this weekend.
Okay. Right
And
on.
they said it's a benefit. And Melissa's also on the show, and she said that she thinks it's AA. So I don't know
Interesting.
I don't know what I'm gonna trigger talking about marijuana,
Marijuana.
but we'll see. It's probably gonna be a
Gotcha.
bomb. It's probably gonna be fun, but either way. And Thursdays are back to the grind. Wednesdays at Noah's. Stop being a bitch and go. That's it for me, bud.
Gotcha. Yeah, for me as well, I will also be at Back to the Grind mostly every Thursday. That's where I'll be at usually. That's where you can find me there. Also, I have a show coming up June 13th at the Redlands Improv. I'll be there with George Guzman, and then William Henderson will be headlining as well. William White Candy Henderson, the White Power. Um, I had to, and yeah, so I'll be doing that, and that's pretty much it for now. That's all I got booked in for now. It's May has been a busy month for me, so
Nice.
hopefully June we can keep that going, can keep that energy flowing. But yeah, this is We Can't Dunk, bringing you all the ball action, and we'll be back here hopefully next week. But yeah, we got Knicks, OKC as our finals pick, so hopefully we don't curse any of those teams. All right, but this is We Can't Dunk signing off.